evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and I'm in a really pissed off mood tonight. And I have a lot of work to do in this website, so we can, as a group, try to make the American people understand just what the right wing is doing in this country. Maybe you see little snippets on Facebook when you're not answering questions like, from some comedy site on Facebook, by the way, and there are actually women answering these questions, okay? Things like, laugh with me. What do you call a woman who jumps from one man to another? You know what? Fucking just stop it, okay? That isn't all about fucking comedy. That's all about misogyny. Okay, it isn't cancel culture. I'm not canceling culture. There is no culture in answering questions like that. There's no culture in asking those questions. So when you're not busy on that inane little path that you might be on, you might want to be paying attention. This is a fucking topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and there may be some emotion here, and you'll just have to fucking live with that. If you can't fucking live with that, just push the stop button and move along, okay? Because people who don't want to deal with this shit, I don't want to deal with you. We're going to start with all of the rhetoric that goes on in this country with gay and trans people. I happen to be a lesbian. I have been a lesbian since the fucking womb, because that's what this is all about. It has not been sexual preference for a while now. It is a fucking orientation. You are either gay or you're not gay. You may be bi, okay? But no one's making you gay. No one makes you bisexual. No one makes you transgender. It is a real fucking thing, okay? They were taken out of the DSM years ago, all right? Understand what I'm saying here. So nobody is grooming anyone to be a lesbian. We've heard all of this shit. I heard all of this shit over so many decades, and I'm so fucking sick and tired of talking about it. And it's every single fucking time the GOP opens its mouth. So here's number one. Two guys with their kids on an Amtrak train, taking them on a trip, minding their own fucking business, sitting in a car on an Amtrak, when all of a sudden this guy comes up to them and he's standing right next to these people and he's talking to one of the men's sons. He said to the child, marriage is between a man and a woman. And then he went on to point to the men and accuse them of kidnapping their own children, calling them pedophiles and rapists. You know what? I'm so fucking sick of this country. It's not funny. I'm exercising my free speech rights right now. You know what I'm going to say? I hate this country right now. I absolutely do. I hate what this country has become. I hate the fact that the people in this country are so fucking ignorant that they can't even stand up for each other. I hate the fact that the people in this country are so self-centered and selfish that they don't even understand what public health is anymore. We have moved right down the fucking path of total ignorance, and that's because you have paid attention to the right wing and their construct. This went on for a while, okay? This is the response from Amtrak. To ensure our customers feel valued and respected when riding on our trains, we are conducting a full investigation on this incident. Really? This includes potentially banning the customer from future Amtrak ridership. Potentially? Fucking ban them. Okay, enough of this pussyfooting around with this shit. I'm so fucking sick of all of this. It's obnoxious, okay? That's number one. Number two, down in Broward, where Ron DeSantis reigns supreme, the biggest anti-gay transphobe, big fat dictator on the planet who has now turned his state into the don't say gay state. And you know what? I don't understand. I wouldn't even go to Key West now. I'm done. I'm not spending a fucking dime in that state. You know what? I don't give a shit. If they offered me $1 million to get out there for a week, you can stuff it, okay? I'm not taking it. Down in Florida, apparently some parents found out that their son was in a forbidden relationship with another kid, a boy. What did the parents immediately do? They beat this kid so bad, not their son, but his, lover. Let's get that straight. Not the son. They beat the lover to the point where he is now blind. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying here? They have beaten this kid so badly that he is now blind. Okay? This shit all comes about because of the rhetoric that comes out of Florida. It's, yes, you know what? They're arresting him. They're going to prosecute him for attempted murder, prosecute them for attempted murder under Florida's hate crime law, which I'm absolutely sure that Ron DeSantis will find a way to try to get rid of that law as well. Okay? They beat him, leaving him to die on a blood-covered floor for 13 hours. Leaving him to die on the floor for 13 hours. It's absolutely, positively unconscionable and revolting that this shit is going on in the United States in 2022. After all of the fighting we did for our rights, all of this shit is being wiped out by bigots, okay? And you know what? Maybe it doesn't matter to you because you're not gay. So maybe you say to yourself, oh, you know what? It's not in my little area of life, so I really don't give a shit. You know what? Shame on fucking you too, okay? A country is as good as the people in it. Other than that, this is just a tract of land with a bunch of buildings on it. That's all this is. A country is as good as the people that inhabit it. End of story. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, the United States isn't looking very good. Not to me anyway, and certainly not to my child. Who, by the way, is transgender. Did I mention that? Yeah. Well, let me talk about the next story we got here. The next story we got here, by the way, I love this, so you'll be able to see this because I'm putting this in the video. There is a new set of billboards being run by the Human Rights Campaign in Florida. And it says right here, Governor Ron DeSantis welcomes you to Florida, the Sunshine State. And plastered over the word sunshine is a big red box with the words, the don't say gay or trans state. That's perfect. We're exercising our free speech right there, aren't we? Tough shit, Ron. You know what? You pay for the advertising, you live with it. And you know what? You do the shit you're doing, and you live with the goddamn repercussions of that. It would behoove every gay person in Florida to get the fuck out, okay? It would behoove future gay people, future people thinking of retiring to Florida, find another place to move to, okay? Because he doesn't deserve any of your gay money. So, right now, if you are under the age of 18 and you are transgendered, you are no longer allowed to get any medical guidance, any drugs, or any help. You simply have to live with whatever it is that you have. And there is no exception whatsoever for children who are suicidal. So I'm going to say something here. my kid, for about a year before she came to me and told me she was transgender, slept with a bungee cord under her pillow in the event that she wanted to go out in the yard and hang herself from a fucking tree. Governor DeSantis is a fucking evil person. He has no knowledge of what this is about, just like the people who, he's pandering for votes. So just like the people who don't like the evolution of gender identification because they're too ignorant to stop and learn about it. You might do yourself some good to sit and talk to a trans person. They're people just like you. They're people who just want to be comfortable in their own skin. And this is a very real thing. This isn't just made up shit. You know what? Nobody in their right mind would choose to be gay in this country. This is not what this is. And the continued belief that that's what this is, that teachers are grooming children to be transgender just because they're trying to help them feel good about themselves, is based on total fucking lies and ignorance. And while I'm at it, let me just talk about Governor DeSantis's Surgeon General, Joseph Ladapo. This is the same guy who spurned mainstream COVID science and used religious dogma for medical guidance during COVID-19. Okay? And this is the man who issued the Department of Health advisory against doctors and mental health professionals offering such options to ease the social transition of children who feel they don't belong in the body in which they were born. The state has no gender-affirming treatment for people under the age of 18, no surgery, no hormone therapy or puberty blockers that suppress the release of testosterone in boys and estrogen in girls. No exceptions noted for kids contemplating suicide. You know what? Dear, but for the grace of God, go you. Or your children. I'm really disgusted tonight. I'm really upset. I'm really pissed off. And let me just say something about the whole Disney thing while I'm right here and on camera. I actually do get that Disney shouldn't have any special self-governing powers. They shouldn't have had it when they were granted in 1967. By the way, that was granted by the state of Florida, not the federal government. And the person in the state of Florida who was governor at that time was a Republican. He had previously been a Democrat, but he switched parties in 1960. So by 1967, when this was granted, he was a full-on fucking Republican, and he signed that motherfucking bill. So remember that. And you know what? Ron DeSantis isn't doing this because he doesn't feel as though any, business entity should have its own self-governance. Why he's doing this is because Disney spoke out about his Don't Say Gay bill. This is called divine retribution. And you know what? If you put the Republicans back in power in 2022, that's all they're going to spend their time doing, is getting back at everyone that they feel has stolen the election from them. This was done to pay back Disney. But I'm going to tell you what it does. And I hope the people in Orange County are listening to this video right now. Disney has about $1 billion in debt. That will now fall onto the backs of the taxpayers in Orange County. I hope they get a lot of money. Is it a wealthy county? Because guess what? Disney is not bound to give you any money to solve that problem. Your governor made that decision. Your governor passed that bill. It was signed into law, and you are now holding the bag. And I hope you're all really happy about that. Because that is a fact, my friends. you know what? I'm leaving now. Okay? Because I don't want to talk about the Republicans anymore or Trump or anything else. I've got a lot of work to do. But I'm just telling you this. If you return the Republican Party to power in 2022, whether it be by voting or by sitting back in your ass and not bothering to get up off the sofa and do anything, like vote, I promise you, you will have 2 years of nothing but investigations of the Biden administration for ridiculous shit. I hear that they want to investigate him for his handling of COVID-19. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Donald Trump willfully mishandled the entire thing from the very beginning when it could have made a difference. And by the time Joe Biden inherited the vaccine, Donald Trump, the right wing, the GOP, who continually tweeted about the evils of the vaccine, Rand Paul, who continually had, YouTube videos attacking Anthony Fauci, and Fox News, who continually provided medical misinformation to the public, had already done the damage. There's no turning back, no amount of, talking to people about the vaccines once all that damage was done. This isn't on Joe Biden. This is all on the GOP, and not just Donald Trump, all of them, for allowing it, for participating in it, and not pushing back. And now Kevin McCarthy and all this nonsense about, how he said he was going to force Trump to resign. Really? He's the biggest Trump bootlicker on the planet. You want to know why? Because he's just dying to be Speaker of the House. That's all this is about. So you know what? If that's what you think is freedom, you enjoy yourselves. I'll talk to you later.